Hey guys, Jamie here, keeping it koi. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. So today we're off to Garry's pond. I'm just getting ready to go up there now. Sounds like it's going to be a good day. He's got some pond balls, as you've probably seen by the thumbnail of the video. We were talking in the live the other week about different alternatives to polycarbonate and things like that. So he's going to let us have a look at his balls. And yeah, he's going to talk us through sort of his winter. Obviously this is his first proper winter with this massive pond that he's got. So he's going to talk us through what he's doing. Very similar to me, turns a lot of things down, a lot of things off. And he's going to talk us through that and give us some awesome tips and tricks along the way. So I will snap back to you all when I get there.
No, I'm not changing any of that. Like you say, I'm cutting a square around the bottom drain.
Having a bit of a late winter feed. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're back at Garry's 22,000 litre jumbo pond with his two windows. Absolutely gorgeous, about 6.5 foot deep. I don't even think you see the bottom. Bottom drains miles away at night, you're not going to see it on the camera, but got some absolutely cracking fish. This pond was only finished built early summer. We've seen it before, but what a cracking pond this is. Two windows, beautiful. Everyone else is in the filter house having a look at his system, but yeah, he's got his air barrel on the back, big feeder up there, skimmer down there. Everything's turned nice and low now. We were discussing on the live the other day different covers. Well, these are the pond balls. Funny little shaped things. They're not perfectly round. They're kind of like, I can't even think what the word is, but they're like ovally type, you know, thinner that way. If they're thinner that way than they are that way, so they kind of sit flat on the water. But yeah, for a 22,000 litre pond, 3 giant sacks, and that's what he has. But yeah, see if I can get some footage in the old filter house in a minute, and we'll have a look. There's the balls on the pond. They're not as big as you think, these little ball balls. Funny shape.
What the guys say is just put them in a sack and just jet wash.
There's Santa. This is Garry's pond, and he's going to put some of his balls on to show you what they look like. But they line up really symmetrical. I like that. All straight lines. But yeah, he's going to put some more balls on, and we're going to see what they do.
Ready?
Yep, go for it, Garry. So as you can see, he stores them in these great big sacks, so they get to then dry out and don't stay all damp and whatnot, which is a great idea. Flipping now, they go quite far, don't they? He's got 3 sacks, and obviously they're following the flow. He's got air bar over there, which helps push them all down this end. And then eventually, when they all get down here, you'll see them all lining up like that. He was telling me earlier, it's quite funny watching them feed through the balls, because it looks like in fact we've just had the conversation, if anyone's seen the film Tremors, it looks like the monsters are coming like up through the ground, because you see like the balls rising as they're coming towards the food. There you go, look, all starting to find their place. But yeah, they cover quite well, look. He's got 2 more sacks over there to go on. But yeah, he's got a good knack though for how to get them out of the pond, and he's kindly offered to show us. So if we spin you around, look, he's got a great big blue barrel, and he's going to show us how he does it. Look, he's practiced a few times with different methods, and he's found this one works quite well. He's getting some pegs. The fish are looking absolutely phenomenal still.
Have an old landing net.
Got the old landing net, look. Perfect size for a blue barrel as well. Don't use too big of a net, because you might find it, although you can scoop up more balls, be a bit more difficult because you'll miss the bucket. Peggy in there. Scoop up your bowls and you put them in there. He reckons it, when his pond's fully covered, he reckons it takes him about 20 minutes to get them all out, which ain't too bad really. When you think, you know, if you've got big heavy frames on a pond of this sort of size, I mean, it's a big old pond. It's 5 metres that way and it's 5 metres that way, but then it does get narrower down that end. But when you think of how big frames would be to hold a polycarbonate cover, it'd probably take you a good 20 minutes to get them off again, with the weight and the struggling and everything. But yeah, it's I was always worried with these type of balls about storing them over the summer months when you don't obviously need them on. But when you think about these 3 big sacks he's got there, obviously 2 behind him, the 1 in there, you know, that actually takes up a hell of a lot less space than 5 metre by 5 metre polycarbonate covers. I mean, where would you put them unless you've got a big side alley? You wouldn't be able to put them anywhere. So yeah, right, we've been he's been scooping and waffling for about a minute and a half, and he's pretty much got them all out already because half of them were already in the pond. It's ideal if you've got a good flow, because Gary's flow, because of his air bar, all comes down this end. Obviously there's a few balls stuck to the wall, but it's ideal for Garry because everything moves this way, so he stays on this side and all the balls come towards him. As if you've got a perfectly circular throw, when you get to the last few balls you might be chasing them around the pond, but yeah, if you've got a one-way flow, which I know quite a few people have these days, makes it a lot easier. So they are a good alternative. And another good point that Garry pointed out earlier, although balls are not cheap, again, when you think of polycarbonate sheets 5 metres by 5 metres to go across a pond, he actually said the cost of the balls would have been about the same cost of polycarbonate sheet. But he can obviously fit all these balls in his filter house, no problem at all. We'll have a quick peep in there again in a minute just to sort of show you the size of Gary's filter house again. There's no way he could put them polycarbonate covers in there, whereas 3 bags of balls easily fit in there. That's it. Once he's filled up his bag, look, take the bags off, jobs are good. By putting them in a bag like that, it obviously continues draining all the water off, so you get your dribbles of water in there with the 1 ball that managed to escape. But then all your balls get dry, leave them out for a while, and once they're dry you put them away. Perfect idea, absolutely perfect. As I say, I'm going to try not covering again this year, but see how we get on. But yeah, that's a good alternative to polycarbonate, considering it would be about the same price as polycarbonate, because you've got to think you need not just the polycarbonate, which is really expensive, you've got the timber as well, and timber these days ain't cheap. I mean, a 5 metre length of timber just to go across the pond that's strong enough to hold a decent amount of polycarbonate, I mean, you're looking at sort of 20-30 quid a length. You think that kind of pond you'd probably need a good 5-6 lengths, maybe more, plus this way as well, you know, it all gets expensive. So I'll have a quick peep, if that's alright with Garry, to have a look at his filter house, and I'll show you again in there. You did all see it earlier on in the summer. I think we was over here in June, so it's got a proper step now, nice concrete step on some wood. So we've got the little drum filter. So water obviously comes through there first. You can see in there with his UV. Up into a giant bio. What you got in there, about 600 litres? 700 litres of K1 or micro K1 in there. And then, as you saw before, the biggest Bakki shower ever. I mean, for the first spin round. That is huge. That is absolutely massive. It's like 3 times as wide as my Bakki shower, and God knows how high it is. It's absolutely massive. Yeah, so that's his bio. The shower's off for the winter. I think 700 litres of K1 is more than enough to keep his fish all happy. A couple of big blues, oh, and a pre-filter, that one like that. Massive flow friend, which is turned right down again to save a bit of electricity, like we were talking about. That's your pipe for the shower. And you've got your 4-inch shotgun returns back into the pond. So absolutely brilliant setup, and a really good idea, alternative way of covering your ponds for the winter. So looking inside the drum, it's a Koi drum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the Koi drum. But a lot of people have got one of these, but for those that don't know what it is, that is an auto topper, about 15 quid. Now, in my pond, as you all know, I just run a trickle in, trickle out, and I try to match it to what the drum takes out. Now, depending on how much I feed the fish or how much dirt is in the pond, you can never get it spot on, because one day it might only clean 30 times, the next day it might clean 50 times. So sometimes your pond drops by a centimetre, other times you go out and it's overflowing. So having an auto top-up like that is absolutely a great idea. Basically, this hose pipe comes in from over there. It's got a little hole cut in the lid for that. The hose pipe obviously goes through all the big blues first. That's connected then to that. And when that little float switch drops enough, it kicks in. Oh, look, he's going to show us that. There you go. You can hear and see the water coming out, if you heard that. And yeah, so when the pond level starts to drop, that kicks in, tops it back up, and then you use just the right amount of water, rather than like what I do, which is try and guesstimate and keep tweaking the hose pipe. Everybody knows in the drums as well that you can clean them with all sorts of things. EA and oase, I think, both do an actual drum screen cleaner. Some people use citric acid, some people use brick acid. Another thing that you can use, you might have seen in a few videos, is white vinegar. One thing Gary's managed to find, or his missus has managed to find, is a bottle you can buy from places like B&M and other places like that. Plenty of other shops available, but an actual bottle comes as a spray bottle of white vinegar, and you watch how well this stuff cleans it. It's got this UV off at the minute, again saving money for winter. You can see 2 dirty streaks there. Spray it on, leave it for just a couple of seconds. Look at that. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. Another good tip while we're at Gary's amazing pond, spray bottle of white vinegar. They're not very expensive either. I've got the same bottle under my kitchen cupboard, but I spent a fortune on the EA stuff, so I think next time when I run out of the EA one, I'll be using that, because it works a lot quicker than the EA drum screen cleaner. So yeah, that's Gary's pond. Absolutely fantastic pond. Again, thanks Gary for hosting the Peterborough Koi Club meet. It was a great day. We did have a few people turn up, but it's winter now, so a lot less people want to come out in the cold. But we spent most of the day inside, chatting koi, watching the fish through the pond window. So again, thanks Gary for hosting, and thank you for sharing all your tips and tricks with us. Great day. So on that note, guys, thanks all for watching. Like the video if you haven't already, and we will catch you all on the next one.